It is Friday, which means it's time for Trending with Tracy.
I love Fridays with Tracy, and we're all about Arnold Schwarzenegger. What's up?
So much Arnold. Well, you know how much we love Kindergarten Cop, right?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Right? Who knew that this was one of the favorite movies of the biggest movie star of all time? He actually wanted to do a sequel to it. So that's what he had mentioned to our buddy Stanley, who passed away recently. And he was actually working on that at the time of his death, a new kind of show for Arnold to do called Superhero Kindergarten, which is so cute. It was going to be animated. He was going to be a teacher, teaching kids with superpowers, teaching them about health, fitness, you know, the regular cool Arnold stuff.
Let's bring this back.
I want to see this,
Don't make
right?
it happen.
Exactly. It's super cute, and of course, there's no plans to do it anywhere. But there were pictures, and it was so cute.
Well, he's so busy, right? Because he's also got some music stuff going on.
It's different, okay? So there was this guy in Austria who's a huge fan of Arnold. He wrote a song about Arnold from his youth to current, and then he said, "Hey Arnold, how about you help me out?" And I think we've got a fantastic clip that we can hear.
Hey, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. Listen carefully. Dig deep down and ask yourself, who do you want to be? Not what, but who. If you believe success will come to you. Work like hell, trust yourself, and all your dreams come true.
Oh, yeah.
Break some rules, not the law. Don't be afraid to fail.
I mean, I feel like I'm listening to whatever Arnold. Don't break the law, behave. He's so scary.
It's called Pump It Up, the motivation song, and it's all over YouTube. Please download it and listen often.
It hits you like a drop kick to the back.
It really does, doesn't it? Yes.
All right, let's talk Ed Sheeran, one of my favorite. I feel like you tailor-made this whole
I really did.
Hollywood
when I
trending
did this,
for me.
I said, what does Ashley like?
I love Ed.
Ed
What's
Sheeran
up?
is so fantastic. He's got a brand new album coming out in July. It's called the No. 6 Collaborations Project. And what started it all was actually Bruno Mars. What happened was, Ed wanted to do a big collaboration song, kind of like Lady Marmalade with Pink and Christina Aguilera and all that stuff. So he called Bruno Mars and he said, let's do that. Well, Bruno was like, meh, let's just do one, just the two of us. So Ed's like, okay. So then he did one with Justin Bieber, with Bruno, and that's how the whole collaboration thing started. But the funny part is, people online absolutely flipped out and they were like, you cannot do a male version of Lady Marmalade. So then Ed said, I don't want to do a cover. Well, he's like, I don't want to do a cover of that song, you melons. Calls them melons. You melons.
Oh, they thought he was doing
that song.
Okay.
But he just thought a big collaboration with a whole bunch of guys would be really super fun.
Sure.
Yeah, so then he also ended it with Lighten Up, It's Nearly Summer, #barbecue for life.
Oh, I love it. Tracy, thanks for being here.
I'd like to hear him sing.
Me too. I think it'd be fun.
Thanks, Tracy.
Well, it's time for our favorite part of the morning now, coffee talk, and we're all about spelling and the B and thinking about the words we can and can't spell. So, Terry, story of the day. It's so great.
This is just amazing. So 8 champions of the Scripps National Spelling Bee this year. That is a record. I think the most before they've had is just a 2-way tie.
Right.
And every one of these kids is getting a $50,000.
It's amazing.
Yeah, basically they're getting $50,000 for winning. So what Scripps said at the end of the spelling bee was that they ran out of words that would have been challenging for these 8 people, for these 8 kids. And it's unbelievable to me that there are 8 of them.
I know.
But I was also reading a lot about this, and they're saying that these kids, I mean, they study before this around the clock.
Do they study the dictionary?
You have to.
What
No,
do
they get like these little books, like Scripps prints out these little books with all the different possible words that they could actually give. So it's not like you just have to go through and memorize each page of the dictionary. And they just ran out of the right quality worth of words.
Did you guys watch any of it?
I did. I've watched a lot of the highlights, and I love that the moderator at one point said, okay, we have this amount of time left and this amount of words, so whoever's left standing at the end of this, you know, you're the champ. And then
kind of awesome.
From that point on, all 8 of them stayed. Yeah. Can you imagine the pressure though?
Yeah.
Well, and we were talking about before how I imagine they would want to keep going just to get one. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure all of these kids are just like, oh, I get to be off that stage and I get to win, I'll take it. So they don't mind sharing it.
That was one of the things I was reading that these kids said they were happy that it ended because they were just so tired. I mean, this is like a grueling, this went on for hours.
Yeah. And they were happy that they won together too. I had seen a couple interviews from them. They were like, we're happy that we get to share this. See, they're all high-fiving.
I mean, these are like 13-year-olds. It's exhausting being up there for hours. I think it ended around midnight is when they finally were like, all right, you 8 win.
And we give up, we're done.
So I also read online that in the 70s when I believe it was in the 70s, the words that people won with were like croissant and incisor. And I'm like, I can spell those words.
Yeah.
I wish we could go back then and all compete, you know?
I was listening to some of it last night as I was falling asleep. I didn't know one single word that they had to spell.
Right, it's only gotten more and more difficult as, you know, these kids have gotten more competitive.
Right.
So
I'm convinced they made up the words too.
I would have gotten the boot if they asked me to spell rhythm.
Is that your one? I wanted to go down the line.
Every
the one
time,
word
rhythm.
that catch you. Rhythm. Okay, Matt.
Well, I said cemetery before. That's a big one for me. You know, I sometimes am embarrassed. Can be a tough
Those
one. It's
double
2
letters.
R's, 2 S's, and
yeah, those double
Stuff
letters.
with like S and C, I feel like it, like license is kind of.
Stephen King spelled
What
cemetery
about
with
for
an
you,
S though.
Ashley?
Mine's
That's
vacuum.
right.
It always
That's
takes
right.
2 U's.
2 U's, and it feels like there should be 2 C's.
What about
or,
you?
I don't know. It's weird.
So for me, the words that have, you know, double letters like recommended, occurred, I always forget which ones are the double letters. Do both of them have double letters? So those are a little tough for me.
Yeah.
These were like
Which
very
makes
easy.
me
These
feel
kids are
really
probably
embarrassed.
watching us and they're like, they don't know how to spell.
Right, this is just pretty embarrassing.
I do have a trick though. I learned when I was little that desserts and stressed is like they're flipped. So when you're stressed, you eat desserts. So stressed and desserts are spelled the exact same way, just backwards.
Thanks, Lauren.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's your
What are
fun
people saying,
fact for the
Wayne?
day. I really hope
You
I'm
know,
right though. But
Yeah,
no.
let's take a look at the poll. We just asked people if they're good spellers or not. That was really
I'm
our
not a good
question.
speller.
Well, you know stressed and desserts, Lauren.
That's
so
the only
there
thing
you
I know
have
how to
it. 61% of you are saying you're pretty good. 11% saying no spelling bee for me. And 28% of you saying you're just average. I think I would fall under that 28% that's just average.
I'm on the lower average end.
Was there? Did you?
Really?
No.
That would be
I
unfortunate.
looked really hard to make sure nothing was spelled wrong on that.
All right, that does it for us on CBS 12 News at 9.
We'll see you at noon.